Stream should be started. Welcome everybody to the Sunday night charting session. I am your host, Michael Clark, owner and CEO of Culture Shock Investments LLC. It's our website here you're seeing on the screen. If you haven't already, make sure you book a consultation today. You could get started with the initial consultation. If you don't want to create an investment account, we could do that. We could go all the way up to creating a whole personalized financial plan for you. If you're not ready to do that yet, then you can subscribe to the Discord and be part of these charting sessions like we're about to dive into right now, okay? All right, everybody, let's get it. Let's go ahead and jump in with a couple companies that I like based on some good volume that I saw last week. I saw some interesting volume on a few companies as far as option trading. We had almost double the normal trading volume on companies like Intel. Intel, as you can see, had a nice gap up last week. My guy actually, Cardive from Empowerment Assets, caught a nice trade on this last week. I was very happy for him. He caught this gap up right here on these calls, which paid nicely. Over 1,000% trade right there. Congratulations. We always clap it up for our people. All right. He may be joining us tonight for the charting session. We'll see. Might have a few culture shockers jump in here during the charting session. But for right now, it's just me, you, and the charts. All right. Everybody that's on YouTube, thank you for joining. Everybody that is on TikTok, it's just going to be the charts tonight. No me on the screen, so lock in on these price levels that we're going to be doing. All right, we got, like I said, Intel had almost double the volume this week, and quantum computing is making a comeback, surprisingly. Not. I called out quantum computing a couple months ago, probably around the beginning of the new year in December, when we had this first initial rally going on from November after the election into December. Everybody had a lot of hot news on quantum computing, and the industry was burning hot then, just like everything else during that Trump pump that we had a pullback from. The quantum computing industry was not exempt from that pullback. But it did hold pretty strong, which I did like to see on a few of the companies. This is QBTS. Let's look at, I suppose, my quantum watch list here for y'all. Where are we at? Where is it at? IonQ is another company I was looking at. I have price levels on them, as you can see already. So I like them back above this $25 level. This is a strong resistance level, but once they start closing back above 25, 34, I like IonQ in the quantum field. We're not charting them tonight, but this is the industry as a whole. You see this whole watch list right here is green because that quantum computing industry had a strong closing to the week last week based on some news that came out of Microsoft and Google. That industry is going to excel much quicker than people realize and what I feel like people came out projecting early on. I think this is going to be an industry that's going to excel, and it's going to be right there along with the AI industry. They're going to play off of each other very well. So keep an eye out for QBTS. We're going to chart some price levels on them. And then we had some high volume this past week on SMCI as well. So we're going to chart SMCI. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do, the people's favorites like NVIDIA, QQQ for ETF, and then Robinhood. But I'm going to start off with Robinhood. Robinhood also has some heavy volume on it this week as far as just stock buying, not really for option trading, but I see it for stock buying. Actually, let me see over the last 10 days. I think Robinhood was up there. Let me see. No, I don't see it up there. So it was just on stock buying volume, on trading volume, that it started to pick up. So I want to chart them. I do see a promising future for Robinhood as a trading platform. It is one of the most user-friendly platforms out there, and it attracts a lot of new investors. So a lot of time when people come to me looking to invest, if they're not too intimidated by platforms like E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, and Webull, then they could use those. But if they are, then I always tell them to go to Robinhood. It's a good place to start off. And I know a lot of people do that. So I could see Robinhood taking off after this nice pullback we have from what, $65. That's almost a 50% pullback we had. We had pullback from, about 45% pullback from the highs. So this is a good chance to start getting in on a bounce. Let's see what levels we want to touch it at. I like to look at weekly. Let's go to the monthly chart first. Let's look at Robinhood on the monthly chart. So if you see this Robinhood on the monthly chart, the RSI is getting ready to cross to the downside, and the MACD is getting weaker right here. So we can have a break to the downside unless we bounce off of this RSI of what, 60? I think that's where it's at. Yeah, the RSI is 60. Yeah. Let's draw in a monthly support line. We're going to look for the most recent bottom wick that is closest to this level that we're currently trading off of, the wick of this month. We'll see, go back into the past. Let's see if any wick closed out around there. We got this wick right here that's pretty close, and this one down here that's below it. So for a put entry, if I'm gonna look for a put entry, I'm gonna look for an entry at this current month's low. If we get back below this, if we break this current month's low again, and we get below here at 35.24, I'm going to jump in a put right there. Dive in right here on your puts, ladies and gentlemen, okay? This is a monthly level. This is a strong level. This is on a macro chart, so you could say to yourself, once this breaks, even though it was just made in March, if we break below this level, we have a high chance of pushing down. Now, if you want to be safe, we could even adjust it slightly down to right there at 34.16. Actually, that's what we're going to do. Let's be safe. I'm a safe guy. I like being safe and cautious, especially in environments like this where you have Trump in office and the markets can be very volatile. Let me pull up the chat, make sure if anybody has any questions on YouTube, type them in the chat. I'm going to pull my TikTok stream up on my phone now so I can see any questions coming through there. But, yeah, we're going to go with this 34.16 level. That's going to be our put entry level. We want to get caught up in a bounce in the market, which it looks like it's getting ready to do. So if we're going to take puts, we're going to take it based off of a level that we're pretty sure off of, all right? All right, now let's keep it pushing. Let's look at the call entry level. A call entry level on a monthly level, we're going to put it at, in order to be safe, we could put it up here, right around this $43 level. That will be a safer entry because it's the bottom wick of the February monthly wick candlestick, and it's the top wick of the December monthly candlestick. So those are two wicks right there that's intersecting. We're going to draw a level right there. I'm going to trade off that top wick. And we're going to put that as a strong call entry level on Robinhood. Once we get back above there. Anything in between there, we could be range trading and bouncing around. Another key level we're looking at is, actually we're not going to fill this in, but another level that you can see right here for people who are thirsty for that early entry. You could look for that early entry because I know some people out there, and listen, they don't like patience, they don't like waiting. But just know that if you get in at 39.82 on a call, you have a potential to hit this monthly level wall at 43.70. All right, but 43.70 is going to be my entry, and that's what I'm going to mark on my chart this month for the Culture Shock crew for our price levels chart. Let me show you guys the price levels chart that we that I give out to the community every month, that you could get access to if you subscribe to the Discord channel. But this is what I'm gonna fill in right now as we're doing this charting session. Hold on 1 second. clear this out really quick. Hold on. So if you guys out there have any companies that you're interested in finding some levels on, let me know. We could go ahead and get those levels done for you today. While you're in here, just type the ticker symbol inside the comment section, and we'll go ahead and chart those levels for you. I'll do at least 2 people's levels if we get some comments in there today. I'll do at least 2 different people. We'll do 2 different companies, some call and put entries for you. Alright, so this is how the price chart looks that I put out every week. These are some targets that were hit last week, so we're going to repaint these. But essentially, this is it right here. You know, I'm going to tell you if you need to be looking at daily contracts, which is 1 to 4 week expiration, weekly contracts, 1 to 4 month expiration, or 4+ month expiration. I'm going to give you the time length. I'm going to give you the stop outs. I'm going to give you the targets. I'm going to give you the entries. All right, so last week, you know, we had Palantir. Let's see if Palantir played out at all. I don't think Palantir hit the call entry. Let me just double check really quick. Yeah, no, Palantir didn't hit call entry last week, so we could play with that again this week. Keep that on the chart and keep that level in there for call entry at around 85.11. But that's what you'll get. You know, can't make it any easier than that. So you could do this on your own with me. I'm going to give you a few levels for free in this live charting session. But when it comes to some of the more popular companies that we like to trade, I like to keep those levels exclusive for the subscribers in the community, because those are the companies we make big money off of weekly. All right. So let's keep it going back here with Robinhood. So Robinhood entry 43.70. Now we go down to the weekly chart. Only reason I charted those entries off the monthly, because I don't typically trade Robinhood, just like I don't typically trade a few of these companies that I have pulled up here. These are not our normal weekly companies. These are the companies that I found high volume off of this past week that could present some great opportunities. So I'm going to give that to the people for free this week. And we're going to say our call entry, we're going to, anytime you're looking for a take profit level, after you find your entry level and identify that, you want to look for the next candlestick up that you touch when you're on your way up, scanning up. Now, that could be far in the past. That could be right next to it. That could be the very next candlestick, or it could be 30 candlesticks ago. It really doesn't matter. As long as there's a level there that where you see a wick, where you're touching the tip of the wick, that's where you want to set your level at, okay? So on the way up from this green candlestick right here, we see a level kick in and block us right here at $46. And we're going to let that level go. We're going to put a level in, and that's going to be considered our first take profit area, okay? You could color code your call entries and put entries and take profits however you best remember. You could copy exactly how I'm doing it. I like using green, purple, red, and black. But choose whatever colors you know. Stick with your memory best. And make sure once we set these levels, the entries on puts and calls, you set your alerts on. Please make sure you set your alerts. That is one of the most crucial things to do. So the next level up, we'll scan up, scan up, scan up, scan up. Boom. We hit a wick right here. Simple, right? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is not rocket science, something that we can all do. We've all worked with charts and graphs coming up in school, you know, so we should be familiar with, you know, marking levels. Now you just needed to know what you were looking for on the chart. You're familiar with what these bar charts are showing you as far as ranges of price. and you just have to be familiar with where you need to set your levels at in order to find successful trading levels for whatever company you're looking at, okay? And that's what I'm here to teach you on these Sunday nights and give you some good levels on companies that you got to know how to do the research as well. This is one part of the equation. Other part is knowing how to do the research by looking through the heat maps. You got to look through the news. We could go through this article right here in a second after we're done plotting Robinhood. But a lot of that comes with doing this by identifying what companies you want to trade and what company is going to present the best opportunity for the upcoming year, month, week, however you trade on frequency, and learning how to take advantage of those and what statistics you want to look at. That's something I teach on a deeper level to the community. Make sure you subscribe and join the Discord. Link is in the bio. And we're going to set 3 targets. I usually set 2, but the third target is the reach for the stars target. I say, like, that's the greed level. And the greed level, a lot of the times, if you get it, you're going to be seeing over 100% on your contract if you're taking it in the time frame that I'm suggesting on the price list that I put out. So if we get in right here at this $45 level, let's see, hold on. Because I don't think I meant to put this level in here. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to put that level in here. Where did I get that level off of? Yeah, no, I didn't mean to put that in there. I don't know where that came from. So my people thirsting to get into Robinhood, you could go ahead and jump in at that 39.82 level, which is kind of like right there of where we are. That's based off the monthly level we found. And you could also, a lot of the times when you come down to the smaller time frames like the weekly, you'll see it align with some wicks on that time frame as well. So when you get that double alignment on 2 different time frames, monthly, weekly, or weekly, daily, and it's touching wicks on both of those time frames, you know you found a good level. So these are ways to reaffirm how good and strong your level is. But I'm looking for this $43 entry, which is, you see, is the top wick of this December 16th week. And it's also part of one of the monthly wicks that we charted, okay? And then we got the take profit right up here at 46. Get in at 43. Take profit at 46.67. And we're going to take profit again at $48. Your reach for the stars level on this, on Robinhood trade, is going to be 49.21. And that is if you're going to be greedy. I usually tell people if you're just starting out investing and you're not really familiar with these contract movements, always look to take your profit at the first target. If you're a little more comfortable with options, then you could go ahead and say, I will wait and I could measure out the second target. I'll be disciplined enough to take it there. If you're really good at timing entry and exits and your risk tolerance is high, then you could go ahead and shoot for the stars level. But you have to be good at managing your option contract and setting trailing stop losses, because if not, you could lose a lot of money. You could lose all your money trying to chase that shooting for the stars level. All right. So don't be greedy. The market slaughters the pigs. All right. Pigs get slaughtered out here. Do not be greedy. On the put side, let's go down to the put side. Robinhood will enter puts at 34.16. Same concept applies on the way down as the way up. Now, people on TradingView, we're going to use this horizontal line indicator to set our levels. And we're going to go down, look for the next wick on the time frame that we're measuring off of. And we're going to put in our levels there. All right, so to take profit here, the first target level is going to be 32.91. All right, that's the very first wick I see after our entry right here. So that's where I'm going to set my first target, and I'm going to measure it down again. And where I see the second one, just off of looking right here, I can see even going all the way back, Robinhood doesn't have much history up in these price levels. So This support could break easily because it doesn't have much price consolidation around this area. This is a much stronger level of support, which is why it's probably holding up here, and why if we break below this level right here, we're most likely going to continue to break down because there's not much support. But don't be greedy. You could take your profit right here, or you could go for the shooting for the stars level on the put side, which would be $30.62. All right, so you got the $34 entry, $34.16, $32.91 target, and 31.31. I like that number, 31.31 as the put targets. All right. And as far as the stop levels go, I'm going to keep that a little exclusive for the community right now. I'll let you determine your stop outs based on your risk tolerance, but there's definitely a little science that you should use for stopping out your positions and knowing when to cut your losses on both sides, from the calls and the put side. All right, so there go your put and call levels for Robinhood. Let's take a quick look at some news flow. Some key things to watch this week. I saw this article right here. I like this. Hold on, I think I've had someone type in a question. Let's go, my guy. Yes, sir. All right, let's see. Last week, we have a few key things to watch for this upcoming week. We got the Fed interest rate decision, FOMC statement at 2 p.m., followed by Mr. Powell chair conference. So that's this upcoming Wednesday. That's going to be interesting. Let's see how that is going to affect the markets. If we're going to come in with a rate cut, which a lot of people are expecting us to do a rate cut to combat a lot of this tariff inflation, this tariff talk that's going on, and these suspected inflation is going to cause on the market. I think they're going to cut. I think they're going to end up having to cut rates, especially if he implements these tariffs in order to negate some of the inflation effects that tariffs are going to have. But we'll see if it's going to be enough to stimulate the economy, because the cost of living is going to come and increase if these tariffs are implemented at these levels that Trump is talking about. So the only thing that could give us some relief is the American public is if the Fed lowers interest rates. So that makes it cheaper to do business, cheaper to borrow, cheaper to purchase. And that will be a little bit helpful. That will be a little bit of a relief for us in the face of other countries raising the cost of doing business. We got NVIDIA has an event this week coming up on Tuesday. Their GTC keynote conference is going to be at 1 p.m. This could significantly impact the broader AI narrative and tech sector sentiment. So we anticipate NVIDIA's unveiling of next generation GB300 AI chip alongside advancements of agentic AI, robotic, and accelerated computing. So with NVIDIA's significant role in the AI market, we know anything that they announce is going to impact that sector significantly. So let's keep a big eye out on Tuesday and what p.m. what happens to the NVIDIA price, which is why we're going to chart NVIDIA after this. We had triple witching expiration this week on Friday. So this is when stock options, stock index future, and stock index options all expire simultaneously. This quarterly event typically brings elevated trading volumes and potential volatility, particularly in the final hours of trading. So you got a lot of people in expiring contracts. So even some people that were in some long-term contracts, these contracts may be nearing expiration, and this Friday is a time where a lot of people that haven't made moves, they're going to start making a lot of moves, and you're going to see a lot of exiting of positions, people repositioning themselves for the next quarter, next couple weeks, next year. So you're going to see a lot of volatility in the market. Some price action may not make sense to you on Friday. That's because we have triple witching going on. Keep your eyes open for the triple witches, all right? Retail sales data this week. Retail sales data comes out Monday at 8:30 a.m. It will provide a fresh insight to consumer spending trends. And we had low consumer sentiment come in on the last report from consumers. So people are looking for any good news coming from the consumer right now, any signs of optimism. And that's what I tell people right now to look out for. The market, because it's been so bashed, is going to look for any signs of optimism for a reason to jump up in price. So anything like reports like this come out positive can cause a nice little jump in price considering how much we've been pulled back so far. Remember, y'all, we were doing 1% a day down on ETFs, which is very, very irregular considering how slow ETFs tend to move in prices. We were going down 1% a day on the Qs, on SPY, on the Dow. And that was very abnormal for the last 2 weeks. So for extreme bounce back to happen, it doesn't take much, and it won't take much positive news for a bounce back to occur at these price levels that we pull back to. And then we have some housing market indicators. It's always good to be aware of what's going on in the real estate sector. This week brings several important housing market readings, including the housing starts and building permits on Tuesday morning at 8:30, followed by Thursday's existing home sales report at 10 a.m., with mortgage rates remaining elevated despite recent modest declines. I believe the mortgage rate dropped down to the high sixes. It's around 6.7, 6.8%. I want to say interest rates are pulled down to from the 7% range. So they're still pretty high, but they have come down over the last few weeks in order to entice buyers to come into the market again, because the buyers have gone down in the real estate industry because of the elevated interest rates combined with the fear of all the inflation that these tariffs could bring into the market. That is causing a lot of trepidation on the buyers. And so they're going to have to start doing more things to entice buyers to re-enter the market again. And that's going to be like cutting interest rates and cutting housing rates down, mortgage rates down as well. All right, let's get back to the charts now. Let's do NVIDIA, because I know everybody's loving NVIDIA. We had the event coming up on Tuesday. Let's see what levels I have on NVIDIA right now. I have NVIDIA on a channel. This was a recent downtrend that you see on my screen. This was a recent downtrend I drew on NVIDIA. This started from the February pullback. That's what this channel is showing. And as you can see, based on that downtrend that started in February, we are now out of the downtrend. We broke out of that downtrend by being able to get back above 116. It was looking very grim down here at 108. I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little worried about that $100 support level breaking, that psychological support level breaking, and we retested 95. But we held strong. We held strong and we bounced back out of this channel. And it looks like we're coming into an uptrend. If we come into a couple good days on Monday and Tuesday, I'll draw an uptrend and to keep track of that channel and see when we start breaking down out of that again, because this could be a short-lived uptrend. There's some key levels I have on NVIDIA that I know I'm watching. Me and the Culture Shockers, we're watching some key levels that indicate pivot zones for NVIDIA. But as of now, let's go ahead and do these levels right here based on where we're at. Based on where we're at, I would say if you're not in a call already on NVIDIA, I would be patient. Be very patient, and you could wait until a good call entry is going to be 124 or 125. Yeah, let's do 125. 125 is going to be your call entry. 125.07. Let's go out to the weekly level. Let's see how it looks on there. Yeah, I like that. So that's the top of this week right here from September 2024. You see it touches the top of that wick and the bottom of this body right next to it of this candlestick. It also wicked off of it over here in June and back here 2 times in June actually. And then a few more times we showed resistance before breaking above this level and breaking out. So 125 is good entry for people looking for calls this week. It's going to require some patience. Yes, I know NVIDIA's at 121, so you're going to watch it push all the way up to 125. Oh my God, I waited. Yes, trust. Be patient. Well, how the market's been, you could get caught in a vicious pullback if you get in before this. So be patient. Wait for that 125 level. If you want to get in early, like I said, my people who's looking for an early thirsty level, 123.79. Just know you're taking more of a risk if you're jumping in over there, okay? High risk, high reward though, right? Let's go ahead and look for that put entry level. I like this level down here that I already have. We're just going to turn this into a put entry. Yeah, that's a good put entry level. 116.18. That's a good area for you to start jumping in on your puts at, because that will start putting us back in this downtrend that I have measured out. If we start getting back into the downtrend, then yeah, you want to start grabbing puts, because that could reaccelerate us down to 100 real quick. But let's look for some take profit levels on the weekly for NVIDIA. So remember what I said. We got our entry level already. We were ready to determine that. Now, we could look at the candlesticks going back from the entry that we determined. Work our way up and into the future, because this got candlesticks going both ways that could potentially touch a wick before the other side does. So pay attention to which side touches first. And right here I see a touch already, so we could draw a line. And this will be a take profit target. This is a good zone right here. We will call this price action right here, and this zone is called consolidation. That's when you see the price going up and down within a certain price range, but it doesn't break too high above or ever too low above that price. And this was the consolidation zone right here. I would say the consolidation zone was right between here. The price never really got too much higher than 130 for too long, and it never got too much lower than 112 for too long. And it did that for a good stretch of time. When you look back here, it did that for a good stretch of time from, June 2024, all the way consolidated all the way through October, November 2024, when we had that election pump, which I think this was a false pump anyway. I think this was done just because Trump got into office. It wasn't really based off of anything but that, because the market, if you guys remember, before he got in office, we were struggling to push up a little bit. Even with all the good news and everything that was flowing, people blamed it on the election, on why the market was stalling out. But if you see, this would be considered a Trump pump range, and right after the momentum died out, I'll say mid-February, is where you see we came right back down into this price range. We came right back down to this consolidation zone, and we're playing with those two price levels again, that 112 all the way up to that 125, 130 area, consolidating. So we want to look for big breakouts. Anything with NVIDIA inside those price ranges, you could get caught in a consolidation zone, because that's where it's been. But we're going to be optimistic on either side. We don't love them either way. Of course, we want the market to go up, especially if you're a long-term investor. But if you're option trading, you could take advantage of this either way this goes. And then the next level up from that 127 take profit, the second take profit level, I say let's mark it at... We got a level right back here. I saw this all the way from July 2024. Now look how strong and important levels are, weekly and monthly levels. This level came in July 2024, where NVIDIA. There we go. NVIDIA had a high of 128.85 that month. And that was in July. And we come all the way over here in January of 2025. It had a high of 129. So we had a high 128.80, high 129. From all the way back here in July, go all the way up to January, and it's testing and rejecting that same exact price level. And this is why it's important to do these price levels and have charts that you have old levels on. You want to have fresh new charts for new levels and new channels, but those old levels come in handy. I'm telling you. You look at your chart and be like, where did I get that level from? You look all the way back. Oh, wow, look at that. And that level's playing is going to play out again for us to the upside as a take profit level right now. At 128.75. And your thirst level, if you want to be thirsty and reach for the stars on NVIDIA, if we break above this level, we must be getting ready for a big breakout. If we break above 130.50, that's going to be a reach for the stars call level after we get in at 125. All right, so we got 125 on NVIDIA for call entry, 125.07 or 123.79 if you want to get in early, if you're feeling a little thirsty and you just got to get in, then you go ahead and do that. And then you got 127 target, 127.12. Listen, we don't judge you. You want to take those early entries, and that's why I put them out there. There's no judging. I might take the early entry. Shit, I'm not judging you. So 128.75 is the second call entry. Second take profit level. And we got put entry level at 116.18. We did not do the target on the puts, did we? We got a target going down. We're looking at weekly chart right now. Remember, everybody, these are weekly candlesticks. Each one of these candlesticks represents a full week of trading. So we're going to set our first level right here. We have entry 116. You see we got two bottom wicks right here. We bounced off of this level twice before at 115, which I could tell you 115 is a crucial put level. But after 115 breaks on NVIDIA, you usually get a nice pullback if you start closing below there. And you could drop down to 113 really quick. All right, so you got put target 1 at 115.12 and target 2 at 113.06, y'all, 113.06. I don't know who else is out there doing it. I don't really see it on social media. Anybody sitting there with you, giving you precise chart levels, showing you exactly what wicks we're getting it off of, what weekly price levels or monthly price levels, where I'm finding these. Trying to explain to you the strength of different levels on different time frames, giving you the understanding and breakdown of how to set up these channels. I don't know where else you're getting this for free on Sunday night, but if you're not getting it anywhere else, then I think I need you to subscribe to our Discord and subscribe to the YouTube. Support us in some way. We have different ways that you can support Culture Shock Investments. You can support us through the website, through the consultations, through the Discord, and we also have merchandise in the Land of Culture website. So make sure you check us out on all those different areas and show some love and support. All right, let's keep it pushing now. We got our take profit on the put side and call side of NVIDIA. Let's go ahead and I do want to do QBTS. This is probably going to be my last one for the night before I get up out of here. We're going to do QBTS. This is quantum computing, everybody. This industry is one of the hottest industries out there right now. It has very, very large growth potential from where it's at. It's just starting now to scratch the surface on its implementation, and it hasn't even gotten to the hands of the general everyday consumer yet. This is just dealing with large corporations like Google, NVIDIA, Apple. These companies are starting to, Microsoft, are diving into the abilities that quantum computing has. Quantum computing is the type of level of technology we're talking about. teleportation now at that point, you know? Hold on. We're talking stuff like teleportation, moving items from one location to another because of how it's breaking down data in space and time. And it's very, very geeky, nerdy stuff, but it's going to be very cool and helpful to us. So let's put in our weekly level. For this, because we just had such a rally up, I would say let's wait for a pullback on it. Let's see if we can have a healthy pullback to around. A healthy pullback to me would be entering around this level right here. So you would do your call entry at $8.20. That'll be a healthy pullback. That'll be perfect to catch off that bounce, and we can play it back to the upside. Or a dangerous call entry, high risk. This is the high risk call entry for the people who can't wait. If we start pushing up some more and you're like, I gotta get in, I don't want to miss this breakout we may have, then you could go ahead and grab a call at 1051. But your take profit range is going to be short. You're not going to have much room to work with before I say you should be getting up out of there, which would be at the all-time high around 11:36. I'll be gone. Okay. If you're getting at 1051, you should be gone by 11:36. But if you get in at 820, we could go ahead and have our first take profit level come in at 1002. Next take profit could be at that entry at 1050, and the reach for the stars level could be at 1136 on this QBTS. Okay, let's put that in the chart. Let's put that in here. Oh shit! Hold on, my door's open. All right. To the put side, let's look to the downside. We're going to say a good put entry to be safe and sure we're in the breakdown. We're going to say it is going to be at $7.06. That's our put entry area, $7.06. And we could ride that wave down to 671. Right around there, you got a good amount of consolidation support. We're hitting a weekly wick on February 10th. We're hitting the wick on February 3rd right there. It cuts through this wick on January 25th, but you see it touches this top wick right here. So that's where I got the level from. And then you could get confirmation on how many different candlesticks or wicks it goes through going back or forward from there. But that's the next wick down from the entry. As you move the line down, it's not hard math. It's not any kind of magic going on. It's just paying attention and coming and actually doing the homework. A lot of people don't do the homework, and they try to jump in on quick intraday levels that they charted out real quick before the market opens, and you get crushed like that because you're not seeing these levels. You're not going back and putting in the homework and doing the work early before the week starts, and you're getting caught out there trying to do levels off the hourly chart, off the 15-minute candlestick chart for the day, for the momentum for the day, and you're getting killed in your trades. These levels are going to be much more informative for you and much more responsive. So make sure you lock in with these shock stock price levels. And the next level down I like to take it, we could go ahead to the 633 level. So we got 671. We're going to adjust this a little bit up. And this one too, put this up a little bit. So 679 will be the first target on those puts on QBTS. And we will say 639 is the second target. Now this stock right here, because of how cheap it is, you're going to have high volatility on the contract prices. I would look for a contract that is one of those monthly contracts, something that's like 4 months plus out. This is one of those things that you want to go further out in time. The higher the volatility naturally in the contract, in the company, the further out I like to go in the contracts, because you're gonna have more stability put underneath your contract with the time that you're giving yourself. So if you're gonna fight against theta and price volatility, then you're in there fighting one against one on three almost. Let's limit your opponents. Let's limit the amount of opponents that we have in our trades, so we can make it an easy battle and we can come out with a victory. You don't want to be fighting hard against theta and then the price volatility and then the delta is crazy on the contracts. You don't want to be fighting 2-3 people at the same time. I don't know how good your hands is, but I don't know. I don't think I want to be fighting 2-3 people at the same time. You're getting jumped at that point. I'm not trying to get jumped. All right? So you want to make sure you eliminate the theta aspect by getting some long out contracts, so at least you don't have to worry about theta on this. When it comes to QBTS, you're probably still going to have a pretty wild delta to worry about, and you're going to have pretty volatile price movement. But I could do 2-on-1. I can handle maybe 2-on-1. But you got 3 people now. Someone punched me in the back of my head now and all that. I can't do all that. I could keep 2 people in front of me though. So we want to go ahead and make sure we do it that way. All right. So 639 is going to be the put target, and make sure you're looking for contracts that expire at least 2-3 months out, and 3-4 months out at least. All right. And these contracts shouldn't be too expensive either. It's trading at $10 right now. You should be able to find some decent contracts if it pulls back to the $8.20 level for us. That would be a great entry. And all the way up to $10, that's a 20% gain right there. So this was a wild week. This right here, this candlestick right here, this was a wild week. It was like a 50% gain. Almost, it actually gained 100% in this week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 95% week is what this was. That's ridiculous. Even if you just bought the shares and you didn't do the option contracts, you would have made 100%. So that's another route you can go with this. You don't always have to do the options. You could go ahead and buy the actual company and just buy shares, because the price is so low. The percentage movement will be similar to an option contract. All right. So we got the quantum computing down. We got some levels on NVIDIA, Robinhood tonight. That's going to be it for me for the live session tonight. We had some good news coming out this week as far as Powell talking. No, I'm being sarcastic there, because it's already been a rough few weeks now. We got Powell coming out with the FOMC decision. Let's see how that affects the markets on Wednesday. Don't forget Tuesday, the NVIDIA conference, and triple witching on Friday. So I may keep keeping it pretty light this week. Volatility could be all over the place, and trading doesn't necessarily have to make sense this week, if you understand what I'm saying. You could go ahead and see a lot of different things happening, but you're going to see heavy volatility coming in the market this week, and it may not always make sense off of these price levels. You may get action off of price levels, but it may not always be in the way and direction you think. So be a little more patient before your entry this week is what I'm saying. Don't jump in as soon as you see the alert go off for a call entry or put entry. Let an hourly candlestick or a daily candlestick close on it based on the time frame that I give out as far as what contract you should be looking for. We're going to make sure we are staying disciplined to those time frames. Like this one, I'm going to put monthly contract here, because this is definitely a monthly contract that we're going to look at for QBTS because of the volatility level. We're going to start going back in. We're going to look at some price levels for these companies. Based on what you learned tonight, you could go ahead and start setting some price levels for your companies that you like to trade. I'm always willing to learn. If you come in with some good price levels to the community and bring it, and you're consistent with it, I'm open to it. We're here as a team. It's not one against the other. It's not me against you. It's us against the market, and it's us trying to make money together. All right? All right, everybody that came through, appreciate y'all on the TikTok and YouTube. I will see you next week, Sunday, and we will get some more levels in